out to Whitney O'Neill. This is Motions. Wow. Say it's been a few years. I was paranoid, I found out you wasn't real. Tell me how you feel if your main friend heard it through the van. Every bitch that you dove in. My so-called friends, and you chilling with them broke off hands. Fuck y'all was not back then. Now all y'all watch me from my back end. Got this drink in my cup, let it all soak in. Smoking on this potent, Mary J. Stay rolling, say about every day. I'm just going with the motions. Mary J. Stay rolling, say about every day. I'm just going with the motions.
I'm just going with the motions.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just going with the motions.
The motions. I thought I wasn't gonna make it without you by my side. But now I see the brighter side. You were just a burden in my life, taking my pride. Now I'm moving on, yeah, that's right. I'm just going with the motions. I'm just going with the. I'm just going with the motions.
Get your music in LE Radio's hottest independent music rotation. Email music@leradio.org.
So I have to build up the courage to let you go.
I'm just going with the.
And I swear when I leave, I never turn back. I never turn back. I hope you get.
Get your music in LE Radio's hottest independent music rotation. Email music@leradio.org.
Yeah, you're tuned in to Les Elegance Radio, and we'll be going live tonight talking about sex, lies, and soul ties. That's what we'll be talking about tonight. Gina, take this. That's what we'll be talking about tonight in about 5 more minutes. Got some really good topics. Hosts here tonight, Mo Bonds, Gina Boo, interviewing Soul Arts, Millie. Gonna have Dr. Eternal on, so just stay tuned, stay locked in. Coming up shortly, coming up in about coming up. Oh, dang, I don't know what I just did. Sorry about that. But anyway, here we go. Let's get back.
I don't know what to say, but we gonna try it. I took a bad bitch to the city and we drop some motherfucking pretty pennies. I told her take my shit in the mouth and go with you like this, yeah, like this, baby, like this, shorty, come with, like this, baby, hit this. Hey yo, who got the keys to this piece? I said Shig Mac doing. Who make them tracks at the sheets? I said Shig Mac doing. Who stroked that pussy like a thief in the night? I'm like a kingpin nigga, but a queen with a pipe. Hey, bust it open, bend it down, yeah. Baby, do it right though. Told her go ahead and fucking move it like a psycho. She deserve a nightcaps though. When shopping streets in Mount Cabo, take her to meet the folks so she could play the proper swing. Girl, she's a meal, not the snack kind. Baby girl, man, she prime time. Told her walk in here, she started strutting for a real kind. I perked her up, she feeling high. She poked it out, I hit it right. She like to shop, I like to shop. We fuck for hours all night long. Yeah. I took a bad bitch to the city and we drop some motherfucking pretty pennies. I told her take my shit in the mouth and go with you like this, yeah, like this, baby, like this, shorty, come with, like this, baby, hit this.
Seen her on the air, seen it from afar. Had to get a bone, almost crashed my car. Shorty looking bad, I hopped out and all. She was in her bed, probably had a dog. Shorty said you right, cause I know who you are. Whether you with Paul, she said not at all. Got the number shortly, I gave her a call. Got to know the shorty before she get me off. Now I'm constantly up at the mall. She take me to Mars, I take her to Ross. See, I ain't tricking if you got it. I I never had a shorty do me like this.
I took a bad bitch to the city and we dropped some motherfucking pretty pennies. I told her take my shit in the mouth and go with you like this, yeah, like this, baby, like this, shorty, come with, like this, baby, hit this. She like to talk that shit to me, she know I disrespect her mouth though. Put her in the chogo, hit her with that left stroke, but she a rider on the low, she don't need no key, bro. She told me take it in the car while I was driving her home. So I hit her with that thrust, she came with me loud. Or something like an automatic boom, refill me now. Or so I pushed her to the cloud, she came off her power. And I scared her just a little cause she gassed even louder. She said, yo, you deeper than Kevin, man, you stronger than Lou. Say your shit like on the holy girl, I know you can do this. So I whipped that Uzi out, put it in her mouth, made her bust like them groupies do, way back from the south. Hit them, yow. I took a bad bitch to the city and we drop some motherfucking pretty pennies. I told her take my shit in the mouth and go with you like this, yeah, like this, baby, like this, shorty, come with, like this, baby, hit this.
Get your music in LE Radio's hottest independent music rotation. Email music@leradio.org.
Corduroy house slippers and weed ash. Handful of raps, nigga, minus the speed bag. I'm boxed in. Nostalgia ultras on my playlist. Usually I do with Vegas, but today one of them phases. Yeah, as raindrops hit the LA street, I twist the zag of that Charlie. Yeah, that LA Chief. Light up, and as the joint cherry smoke fills my lungs. Two breezes on the line, and they both want to come through. I got the juice like I'm Bishop with tequila chillin'. You ain't no hero till you kill a villain. What a feeling. Stare at the ceiling, slip off like a banana peel, then wake up and do it over. Sunday, no sangria spilling. Keeping cool like the Frisco breeze. Tomorrow may be iller, but today I'm just low key. I let the quiet storm play in my mind while I sit back and think of harmonies to say in this rhyme. And they go something like, I'm low key like a tender, cool like it's January. I'll be going until November. Come on and ride, catch a different feeling. I second that emotion, no commotion. We just chillin', so come inside. Come on and ride. Come inside. Yeah. From nostalgia to the Isleys, tequila OJ, the grenadine on the side, please. Side leads, yes I am connected. Levels deep in that rebel drink, inception. Reflecting, but no thoughts seem to pass. Just Kobe in the paper and the Josie in the glass, yes sir. See the keys on the dresser. The Bible and Quran, hit my knees and pray to Mecca. Like, Lord forgive me for my overindulgence. I know the devil's nectar can't be helping me focus, but I swear it's giving me peace. Don't wanna cause another tragedy in these streets. Amen. Slowly fade in to faraway lands. And while my mind travels, damn it feels so good to stay in. Like some good when you bust one. You know I'm 2 fingers salute. Today it's just one. Cause I'm like F everything. I'm low key like a tender, cool like it's January. I'll be going until November. Come on and ride, catch a different feeling. I second that emotion, no commotion. We just chillin', so come inside. Come on and ride. Come inside. Yeah. It's just one of those days. It's nothing special, you know. You don't feel like doing nothing, man. Take a look outside. The rain coming down. You just want to indulge in you. do what you do. You roll you something, you pour you something. You know, you frolic around. You may write a rhyme, you may do nothing. You may sit there and just vegetate. Sometimes it's just like that. Yeah. So I figure I'll tell you about my nothing experience. And that's that.
New shows, new hosts. You're tuned into LE Radio, your online community exchange for trending news, entertainment, and sizzling interviews on various topics. We feature independent music. Get your music in rotation by emailing music@leradio.org. We talk about social issues, cultural norms, and diversity, health and welfare, fashion trends, and more. Make sure to subscribe to us at www.leradio.org for shows and times. Follow us on Facebook, IG, and Twitter at Les Elegance Radio. Be a guest on our show. Email the show at leradio.org.
You're live with LE Radio Entourage.
Hello, hello. I hope everyone had a beautiful week and you're live.
Hello, hello.
Good evening.
I'm not hearing somebody. I think that's you, Gina.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here in the flesh.
You're here in the flesh. You're here
Yes,
in the
I'm
flesh.
about to kiss this mic.
Kiss it. Make love to it.
I am. Make
And
love
ladies and
to the
gentlemen,
mic.
I know y'all hear a male voice on here tonight. So before we really get into the show, anything, I'm going to go ahead on and let Mo Barnes introduce himself, get him himself. He's from Rolling Out, but I'm going to go ahead on and let him tell you all who he is.
Good evening. I am Mo Barnes. I'm a writer for Rolling Out magazine and rollingout.com. Rolling Out is the country's largest black-owned free print weekly, with publishing 1 million print copies a week, published in 19 different urban markets. So we go from coast to coast, and we bring you urban news. And since I've been covering Jessica Holter and the Punani Poets, I am also coming to look at other activities that occur at the Punani Playhouse. So that is why
There's a lot go on here. Is a lot.
Yeah, there'll be a lot going on up in here. Woo. But again, like I said, I hope everybody had a beautiful week. I had a crazy week. You know, we were snowed in for 2 days.
Yeah.
Down here in Atlanta, that's nothing in Chicago. That's nothing for
It's
Chicago.
like now it doesn't even exist. The snow it doesn't even exist.
Right, it's like 60 degrees today.
that was
64
ridiculous.
for that
But
fact.
I'm just curious 9 months from now what this generation of kids are going to be called. Because, you know, there are going to be some babies born after that ice storm, excuse me.
Yes.
The one-day ice.
The one day,
Close
yeah.
everything.
Right. So before we get into the topic tonight, STD, sexually transmitted demons, lies, sex, and soul ties. Whoa. I'm going to go ahead on and turn the mic over to Brittany so that she could give you Ellie's events blackboard.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Okay, so I have some announcements to make. Our topic tonight is STDs. However, you can't get an STD by enjoying a good show. So, this is a shameless plug right there. But, so this Valentine's Day season, we have a whole lot of stuff for you guys. Jessica Holter and the Punani Poets has 3 different shows. Not 1, not 2, but 3 different shows in cities all over the country this season. So you definitely have to get a ticket to every single one of them. Like, you really do. So the first show that we have for the Punani Poets is The Secret of the Pearl. Now, this show right here is not exclusively for lesbians, but it's definitely for women who love and enjoy women. So this is kind of like a real sexy show. They have a live band. It's poetry. It's dancing. It's everything. So the first show will be taking place February 13th at 8 p.m. in Los Angeles, my hometown. San Francisco will be next, February 14th, actually on Valentine's Day, so definitely check that out. Seattle, Washington is next, February 15th. We got Macon, Georgia down on February 16th, which is a Friday. And then we have Atlanta, Georgia, February 17th, which is a Saturday. So please definitely make those shows. Then the next show we have is School of Seduction with the absolutely lovely Maha. So this show, I was told by Jessica, is in favor of our housewives, like our married women. Like it just showcases how sexy that can be and just kind of highlighting that. So this class is in session. It's teaching you the ABCs of love and Jessica Holter's School of Seduction this Valentine's Day season. So Maha is the lead, and she's going to be a hyper romantic cabaret with music, poetry, dance, and definitely some audience role play. So,
whoa.
Right. So
I
the first
be
show is going to be in Virginia Beach. Second show is going to be in Atlanta, February 14th on Valentine's Day. The next one's going to be in Philly, February 16th, and then New York City, New York, February 17th. So definitely don't miss those shows. I'm trying to tell you, school is in. Maha is a beast, so you have to come. And then last, but certainly not least, we have the head doctor herself, Jessica Holter, with her Head Doctor show. And she's quoted by saying, after 23 years, like 23 years, that's a long time.
Yeah,
in
it
the
is.
business of love, I have learned that people will tell you anything if they feel like they're not being judged. Yes. Bars right there. So the founder is now bringing her most popular romantic comedy show with intimate audience of lovers and friends. I'm telling you, like, all the different stuff that she does on the show. She might have some strippers. She might have a kissing she will have a kissing contest.
No, I'm saying that because her bar's not moving.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Sorry. I'm trying to be loud.
We sitting there, I'm thinking it's part of what you're trying to say here.
No, I wasn't trying to say nothing when I was saying bars.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's better
All right,
now.
is it
When I
better
was
now?
saying
All right.
bars, I was saying bars because I thought y'all knew by now when I say bars that means
We know now. Is mine moving?
I thought you was
yours
co-signing
moving.
what I was
Okay.
talking about. So yes, that show is amazing. She has an amazing cast. They switch it up every time, so not every show is the same. So you can continue to buy tickets. But the first show, of course, is going to be in LA, of course, and that's going to be January 27th. That's next week. That's next week, you guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
it
kick off
is.
next week. Shows
Gotta
kick off
kick it
next
off.
week.
Then after that, it's Oaktown in the Yay area. She's pretty much going to be there all weekend. So February 1st, February 2nd, and February 3rd, Oakland is getting so much love with this show. Then we have Gary, Indiana, February 7th. Then we got Columbus, Ohio. I know how to get down with their happy hour with the Head Doctor. Then we got Nashville, Tennessee over here with the Midnight with the Head Doctor on February 9th. Then we got New Orleans, February 10th, and that's just in a couple of weeks, you guys. Now, I'm going to let you know, we do have a Dallas, Texas show. However, it is sold out, but you can text in to get added to that wait list. So text in, trying to get on that wait list. Then, of course, we got Chocolate City itself, Washington, D.C. on February 15th. And then Chicago, got to take it all the way back, February 17th. Now, all of these shows, you can go on to Eventbrite to get the tickets for all of these shows. Do not wait until the day of the show, because more than likely, they're going to be sold out. They actually will be sold out, and you won't be able to buy tickets there. So you have to get them in advance. So please, please, please do not wait. This is not a last-minute gift. You need to get these now. So, in addition to that, if you ever want to be on the LE Radio Blackboard please email me at theshow@leradio.org, okay? So now, if we don't have anything else, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Gina Boo over here with the Community Spotlight.
Hello, everyone. Well, I'm doing the community spotlight on Pat McComb out of Chicago.
Oh, now you go.
What can I say
Gina?
about Pat?
You gonna yell in the mic? Go.
What can I say about Pat? There's just so much to say about her. She was indicted into the LGBT Hall of Fame in 2000. She's a veteran Chicago lesbian organizer and social service volunteer. Pat is also best known for her joint ventures with Vera Washington in forming the Executive Suites. Have y'all ever been to a Pat and Vera party?
Oh, Executive Suites.
Have
I
you
remember
ever
Executive
been
Suites.
to a Pat and Vera party?
Yes.
I just remember somebody telling me to
Yes,
go,
I've
and they
been.
was like, You won't
That was
regret
my
it.
first lesbian party.
That was my
experience.
first. Now,
And
that's
then
when I know
Intimates
her.
was my second with Tracy, but that was my first.
Yeah. So her and Vera have been doing their thing for many, many years. And she's co-founder of the Executive Suites and Traveling Club with women of color. She's assisted the Women's Music Festival for decades. She's also an anti-discrimination activist, a special education teacher for the city of Chicago Public Schools. So she's also in 1970, McCone and friends started a home party group, the Aquarius Air Connection, as a social alternative to bars. She's also paved the way for gays and lesbians to be able to have a safe place to go, to be themselves, she's just done so much in the community as an activist. She's has been a steering committee of Chicago Black Lesbian and Gays for 3 years. She's the vice president and board member of Chicago Black Pride for 2 years. She's also volunteer at the Lesbian Community Cancer Project and the Mountain Moving Coffee House for Women and Children. In 1980, she was a hotline volunteer for the Lesbian Community Center. In 1999, she and Executive Suites were honored by Chicago Area Gay Lesbian Chamber of Commerce with Historical Achievement Award. Pat, we would like to thank Pat McCombs for all that she has done. She's a very fun person.
Yeah.
she's one of a kind. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Dad, that was a lie. I didn't realize she had done so much.
And I didn't read it all either because I couldn't.
I'm like, man, I didn't realize she had done so much.
Yes, and she's still doing.
She made me feel like a baby. Like what?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Big shout out to Pat and Vera. Well, Pat, you did Pat, but you did mention Vera. So big shout out to both of them.
To both of them.
Yeah, Executive Suites. I remember them parties. But I couldn't do nothing. I was in a 10-year relationship.
That's what you get.
So all I could do is look. But anyway, again, we have a great show lined up for you tonight. We're talking about STDs, sexually transmitted demons. And we have some Q&A, some interviews coming up tonight is also with Dr. Eternal Fortune and Millie Coleman of Southern Soul Arts. She's a motivational speaker, so why would you say, oh, Lord? And we have a special guest co-host tonight from Rolling Out, Mr. Mo Barnes.
All right, I can't wait to get into that one because I want to see who I'm connected to.
You ready? we could get into it now.
I might run up out of here.
You might run up out of here.
I'm connected, baby.
And Brittany is getting ready to go live because I know last week a lot of people kept asking us to go live. They wanted to see us. If you want to see us and you want the live video, you have to go to LEZ Elegance Radio on Facebook. That is the only way you can see the live video. It's not on my page, Brittany, Gina Boo page. No, you have to go to, or was you don't tag it in my page just one time or just send them to the Les Elegance Radio page. You could tag me and you could tag me and then I had to accept it because I had to block it where people couldn't just post on my thing because because for a while, girl, they was just rude, just posting all kind of stuff on there. Hey, baby, like okay, whatever. I'm serious. I don't want to say groupies. That's rude, but.
That's what they are.
But that's what they are when they do stuff like that. They was putting some.
Just get down and admit it.
They was putting some crazy stuff on my. Did I ask you to say that?
Okay. I need some groupies.
Tell her nah. Groupies is not fun. Trust me, groupies not fun to have. Groupies not fun to have. But again, we're getting into the topic of sex, lies, sex, and soul ties, and we're talking tonight about sexually transmitted demons. And this is a conversation that I had posted a while back on my page, and I know I was speaking about how having sex was trans-dimensional. And a lot of people posted and was saying that they didn't agree. And I'm sorry. If you have a one night stand, you're not exempt. Anytime you have sex, you enter into that realm with somebody, you're sharing your energy. I don't care. Because, a lot of people were saying that if it's a one night stand or if it's just somebody I just want to have sex with, I'm not sharing my energy. And yeah, you are.
Sure, I can agree. I can agree with that.
But
I don't really have a but I do believe that when you do sleep with someone, you are connected. You got to have some type of connection with them in order to sleep with them. You're not going to sleep with anybody that you don't have a connection with.
What about the one night stands though?
You had to have a connection with them at that time. At that time, when you saw the person, you knew you wanted a one night stand. Whether the one night stand was because you can't be with them or whatever, you're can we say the word hoe?
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause you got to let me, and you whether you out there doing your thing, you have to have some type of connection when you sleep with somebody. So I can agree. I can agree. Most people don't, because they don't want to know that all the people that they've slept with
is connected to
they're
them.
connected to them.
But does that energy, that sexual connection, that energy, does it translate into with some people as guilt? As they go through relationship.
Yes.
And, you have the one night stand. So, I mean, the next morning, after the person has left, you sit on the bed wondering if you're going to get into heaven after what you did last night, and taking that on with you. But we look at people who relish that. You look at people who are into the fetish relationships, who are into group relationships, into the fetish lifestyle, where they'll not only they have the multiple relationships, and then you have the couples who are polyamorous and have no issue with, and we're talking same sex as well as straight couples, going back and forth and everything else. So some people seem to embrace this energy that's going around and have no spiritual connection whatsoever, or that spiritual connection is guilt. And you have people, I think, that for some, that guilt, that confusion can also result in many people getting into the whole BDSM world, the orgasming through pain. Why do you want that? What is triggering that?
Wait. Now, sometimes pain is good.
Oh, I understand.
Then we have somebody else on the show talking about orgasm through pain.
That girl that almost sent me to the bathroom.
No.
There was her.
No. The sex toy lady.
She was saying that younger women find sexual gratification through pain, whereas older women find it more through pleasure and stimulation.
Yeah.
She was trying to
lies.
go back between clitoral stimulation and penetration.
Lies. Yeah.
Sometimes pain can be.
She was basically saying that they didn't know the difference between pain and a real orgasm, which didn't make sense to me, because I know the difference between pain and an orgasm.
Yeah, you do know the difference.
There's a big difference.
Okay, some of us, because some older people don't know the difference. Some older people has never had an orgasm to even know.
You're talking about. Men. I've had an orgasm. I understand.
You talk better
so
without
you're talking about women.
Like, move it. Just move it.
I don't want it because I like it. Because I want to make love.
But you want to make love to it, but your bars ain't moving. So
why they ain't moving? Are they moving now?
Yeah, they moving now.
Okay, move bars.
Yeah, they moving now.
Okay.
Go ahead. You wanted to say something?
I lost my train of thought.
You was talking about old people, but when you
old people,
I didn't say old people. I said older.
Were you saying older women, older men? What are you saying?
Of course. Well, older men gonna get theirs because they shoot it out. Mm-hmm. Women, there are women out here older than me that has never experienced an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So how would they know whether it's pain or pleasure? Mm-hmm. You don't know because you've never had anyone to take the time to explore your body to give you that.
All they need is the clit. It's out right there.
They don't know that.
That's it. That's the only purpose of it.
But I don't understand why they didn't, because if the clit is just rubbing up against something, that creates a fire, like two sticks. So how did you not?
Because that's how female orgasm is not from penetration.
Okay.
It's not from penetration. It's not from penetration, and a lot of people don't realize that it's not from penetration. And most of the time, when a woman is having an orgasm with a male, it's because he has mastered that art of knowing how to. While he's penetrating her, he's also grinding against her clitoris. That's how he makes her come. So it's not from him. It's a way that you have to position her when you hold her up and bump. And
How you know
Well, you're talking. I mean, come on, there are women who have vaginal orgasms as well as clitoral orgasms.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
yes,
more
I-
have
yeah,
less.
no,
Oh
it's
well, we
true.
got a man on here, so I ain't gonna argue with him.
Right.
I'm not gonna.
hello.
I'm not gonna argue
Right,
with
she
him.
done took over what you're here for.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm not gonna argue with him.
You just haven't met that person.
Well, I've never even been with a guy, and I'm not trying to even go there. So I'm just talking about from
So
what
she
straight
has
women.
nothing
you're
to compare sex
comparative,
to.
right.
No, I can't. Well,
She
no, I'm
does
talking
not
about
have
what
nothing.
women told me, what my straight friends told me that are now lesbians that did not have orgasms. But we getting off the subject because we supposed to be talking about.
Well, it all ties together, because I'm
Yeah.
not going to be with anybody that can't give me an orgasm. I mean, that's just, what's the purpose? It defeats the purpose. Get up, go home, do something else. I don't know, but you got to leave here.
Okay.
So am I connected
But it's
still?
you still connected.
I don't even need to talk no more, because see, all my closet and skeletons
But it's
start
more
coming out.
common. Yeah, but it's.
I think you're making a real big generalization, and a lot of it comes, I think, with sexual maturity, based not only on with the man but also with the woman too, and how couples come up and how we learn to love one another and connect with one another outside of the sex act. I mean, yeah, I've known married couples and friends and everything who could not. There were women who have told my ex-wife, now that no, they've never had an orgasm
Right.
before with their husband, even though they may have had kids and everything else. And
Right.
it's shocking to hear that. But then you listen to their mindset and everything else, and you're like, yeah, maybe there's some other things going on in there. And I think that goes to what your topic of STDs.
Right.
And we look at first examples of a relationship are mothers and fathers. If we come from single parent households, then the first example we have of a relationship is a broken relationship. And from there, how we grow from there, how we evolve from there, I think will determines how we handle sex, how we allow our demons from the past to hang on with us, and we take them from relationship to relationship. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that's why most relationships don't work, because you're taking something from another relationship into another one.
Right. You don't give yourself time to heal in between. You just hop from relationship to another relationship and carries whatever was in that next relationship to that relationship.
And it's interesting. Like for me, personally, coming out of a divorce, I was married for 20 years. And a lot of things had happened. It was a shock, so it was very hard for me to start dating again. It was weird. It was hard for me to connect because, I'm thinking about, my relationship with my ex and everything and going forward to there. But so you kind of have to grow out of that and leave some of those demons. Some of those demons.
You okay?
behind.
You can move that out your way if it's
I'm all right.
if it's in your way. You can move it. Okay. But yeah, that's very common to carry stuff from one relationship to another. You don't, give yourself enough time in between to heal.
I ain't carrying shit. I mean, ooh.
You could say you.
It's not FCC. Right?
Nah, you fine. I found out you was fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you
Because
fine.
me and Jessica let it rip last week.
Yeah, y'all let it. Y'all really let it rip, really. But do you think that it's a difference between same sex, like woman to woman, and then a man? Because I was reading on the article where it was saying that every time a man has sex with a woman, you know, and he shoot off in her, whatever, he's leaving his information or part of his DNA in her birth canal. So,
well, yeah, that's totally true. Because, like you said, women have had children and never had an orgasm. You don't need an orgasm to have a baby.
No, you don't.
You don't need that. You can get pregnant just off the well, now we're going into something else. But you can get pregnant off of the whatever before the...
Pre-com.
There you go. Before that. So you don't have to have an orgasm to have a baby. It is common. A lot of women walking around here with children has never had an orgasm. Never.
Right.
Okay, and do y'all agree then that also bad sex, when you are tied to somebody, like the sexually transmitted demons, and you sleeping with that person and say, I got a real jacked up attitude, I'm always in a bad mood, don't you know when you sleep with that person that'll transfer over to the next person?
Well, yeah, we see that every day with Melania Trump and Donald Trump. I mean, yeah, sometimes I feel bad for her.
Right.
But I'm sure she's got a demon or two. Yeah, of course. I mean, in history, we can even see in history, you know, examples of bad relationships. You know, that person should have left them a long time ago. You know?
But they still there. And why are they still there? The sex.
It's sex?
Yeah, it's usually the sex that keep them connected. I know a couple of couples like that been going back and forth.
All it takes is another person to do it a little better than if the sex is the only thing.
Yeah.
The sex is not the only thing, but it does play a major part because you're connected, and that's where that spiritual connection come in at. So it plays a big part. And I know a lot of people in bad relationships, they be cussing, arguing, and the only time they get along is when they having sex.
Again, sexual maturity.
Dang.
You know, there are some women who stick with guys because that guy gave her first orgasm. You know, so.
Yeah.
And it's a bad relationship. She had multiple partners before. This was the one who gave her the orgasm.
So she stayed with him. Yeah.
I've heard of that too. But yeah, I agree with you. Sex does play
it play a huge part in relationship and keeping you in bad relationships.
Yeah.
Making bad decisions and everything.
But that can get old after a time too. I mean, at some point the cost to benefit ratio has to say, you know, well, the sex is good, but this relationship is really, really bad. And you know, as your soul gets chipped away every little time, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but you know, usually what they do is they'll say, "Okay, I'm done." Then they'll go in there and start talking to you. But then something will happen where that person will reach back out. So they'll go back to that person. It becomes a revolving door, and they just could keep going back. And before you know it, 7, 8, 9 years have passed.
It's like the R. Kelly syndrome, I guess.
The R. Kelly syndrome.
Yeah, where he has this cult of women who are there for some reason. Whether it's the money or the sex, there are women who want to be urinated on. I was talking to one of my editors when we were covering the whole scandal situation, and she had taken kind of offense during the meeting, you know, when I had said that there are other women who are willing to take the place, quote unquote, of these alleged sex cult members. And she was like, no, that's not true. And, no woman wants to put herself in that particular situation. I said, no, it is. There are some who are like, it's not good, but, you know,
why do you think they would want to trade places like that? Because each one of those women had a part to play, which tells me that he can't find sexual pleasure with one woman,
right?
Because he doesn't want to hear the word no. I don't want that. That makes me feel uncomfortable. So he goes and he gets these multiple women that are, because he can't get one woman to actually satisfy him sexually.
Well, we don't know the entire motivation for it, but remember,
he's
part
crazy.
Of that. Well, but those women, by their own testimony, some of them have engaged in group sex together with R. Kelly and each other and everything else. So we have. So again, we have good sex and staying in a bad relationship.
Right.
A polyamorous bad relationship in this case.
And he is, and
so R. Kelly is polyamorous.
Oh, well, no, I can't say that because, but I mean, his. I don't know how you decide. You have a guy who has a. And forgive me, I don't want to use the wrong term. You know,
right, I don't know what he is either. He just enjoys sex, I think.
Yeah, he's had his heart.
Why you got your?
Because I just told y'all why. Man can't find one woman to satisfy him sexually. He likes a variety of women, and he likes them young. He don't want anybody over a certain age. Why?
Yeah, that's true.
Right, because he doesn't want to have to deal with the older women. The older woman will not all, will make you respect her body. If she's not comfortable with something you're doing, she's going to say, no, he don't want to hear that. The younger ones, hey, I'm with R. Kelly. They're looking for some type of fame. He didn't promise them something. And that's why he does it.
Yeah. They think there's finna be their big break.
This their big break. And all they're doing is just degrading themselves. Eventually they will come out of it as they grow and see that they're not getting anywhere. They probably will come out. Well, he gonna get rid of them anyway. It's just like being in the Play Bunny house. After a certain age, Hugh Hefner was putting you out. You gotta go. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then just think about this, though. Everybody that he ain't been with, how many of them got a record deal?
So how many?
Or how many dropped a single?
Is he attached to?
Yeah, how many demons?
He attached to all of them.
Dang.
He attached to all of them. You got to cleanse yourself, but I don't know. He attached. Yeah,
She's the only
Aaliyah.
one that actually made it through and was able to benefit.
Well, he didn't do anything with Aaliyah. He didn't give Aaliyah a contract or anything. Aaliyah was already on. Yeah. He wrote a song for Aaliyah, but she was signed to somebody else. He did all that to get close to her so he could marry her. And then his mama, her mama made him divorce her and leave her alone. That's it. All he did was write a record. He did not discover Aaliyah at all. Nope. He just, he ain't do that one. But anyway, we're talking about sexually transmitted demons. We do have 2 interviews set up tonight. Southern Soul Art, with Millie Coleman, and we have Dr. Eternal Fortune, motivational speaker. Both of those interviews are coming up here shortly. I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with, y'all, we forgot to talk about I guess we did just talk about live sex and soul ties with R. Kelly thing, so that was covered. That was covered. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back after this break, probably get those interviews in and continue on with this conversation.
It's for my niggas riding 6s or better. GI. All the way to VA, nigga. Tidewater Park. Suffolk. Norfolk.
She gotta go first.
The beach, nigga.
Yeah,
town, where you at?
Why I ain't getting no apple juice?
Well, you know where I'm from, nigga. 219, niggas. Because we on fire. Looking like a honey. I rock them choppers and them goonies. Because we on fire. Say we the true, my nigga. Please because we on fire. I got to allow my nigga with it. Because we on fire. From a nigga to them sevens. Because we on fire. Put your hands up if you rockin' with me. It's do or that and I'ma get it. Catch me riding through your city and some high. Hey. All the way to VA, back up to the 219. To the 404, to the 305. These old been known as grind. Pussy nigga better stay in line. For a young nigga, cock that 9. Rambo with the ammo, nigga got a caseload, so don't cross that line. No lacking, that's fam only. That money, gotta live for it. And I'm ballin' hard in my Concords. 24, that's a Paul George. Bitches fly, my team soaring. 2 licks, who down for it? Money all in my pocket, nigga, with a flock of bitches, they all going. We on it, got my drink in my cup and I'm pouring. And we up till like 4 in the morning. On that line, I'm on cloud, never sober. Cause 219 niggas, because we on fire. Looking like a honey, we on fire. I rock them choppers and them goonies. Because we on fire. Say we the true, my nigga, please. Because we on fire. I got to allow my nigga with it. Because we on fire. From a nigga to them sevens. Because we on fire. Put your hands up if you rockin' with me. It's do or that and I'ma get it. Catch me riding through your city and some hot.
Broke an ounce down on the coffee table. Diesel turning up like some jumping cables. I don't call her bitch, I call her unstable. Bitch, I'm Sonic to the money. I don't need tails. More money mean more problems. With more problems mean more choppers. Keep it swivel off of that bullshit. No time for my safety, y'all. Recipe to my nigga Boo, Michael Frog, Chris Mac, J. We, Lil Derrick, y'all. My nigga DJ had 2 J's in the trap jumping like Chris Paul. Been on the block since Yay Tall. Keep it MGK like 8 ball. My nigga Bass Butler call him baseball. And his big brother said fuck y'all. Cause in the small city get a big steel city when niggas stay gritty and put it on for the city. Matter of fact, nigga fuck that. I'ma stay down. Because we on fire.
Looking like 100 million. I rock them choppers and them goonies.
Because we on fire.
Say we the true, my nigga, please.
Because we on fire.
I got to allow my nigga where to
Because
go.
we on fire.
From Indiana to them 7
Because we on
Put
fire.
your hands up if you rockin'
Because
with
we
me.
on fire.
It's do or that and I'ma get it.
Because we on
Catch me
fire.
riding through your city and some hot
Because we
Get your music in LE Radio's hottest independent music rotation. Email music@leradio.org.
EAC 1101 is a course in expository writing. You will write essays that inform or explain, clearly stating, logically developing, and adequately supporting one main idea. In this course, you will learn the form of the essay, structure of its paragraphs, and basic principles of critical thinking that would help you write more effectively. The course will cover standard English grammar to aid in the writing of more effective sentences. In addition, a yearbook will be created to record, highlight, and commemorate the past. Appreciate the
You are
present,
tuned into
and
LE Radio, your number one online community exchange.
Give me a little more.
This is my boy Royce Hall. Check him out. He got a new CD that'll be dropping soon. So make sure you check out Royce Hall down here in the ATL.
I love you just the way you are, and don't you change a thing, 'cause nothing in this world compares to you. So darling, stay the same.
I guess it's time I'm honest, or time I should acknowledge. Tried my best not to fall, but it's looking like late August or the feel of September. Depends on where you're living. I'm pretty nice at work, but have trouble with some conversations. Always setting limitations. This time I'm heavy metal pedaling, speeding with no hesitation. But I think you're pretty fine, like tickets for acceleration. Beyond what's allowed, just smile. Brightens my mornings with my skies full of clouds.
I love you just the way you are, and don't you change a thing, 'cause nothing in this world compares to you. So darling, stay the same.
Aside from all the traveling, I finally put my luggage down. Been sipping on this glass of brandy, wondering how can I be down. I keep my feelings boxed in, searching through this lost and found. It seems my mind's running in circles ever since you came around. Lipping off the trampoline, emotions are so up and down. The maintenance of consistency, I hope you'll always stay around. Fly it in the planes I travel on, but you never touch the ground. The view of you be sky rises when I'm spitting my rhymes. Just know
I love you just the way you are, and don't you change a thing, 'cause nothing in this world compares to you. So darling, stay the same.
I've missed you like a light rain or a storm with a striking pain. So strong since I let you rain. Was my umbrella what I needed? All my dreams, you believed it. Pushed me even when I was broken down. Bedroom, smoky face, water, tears of a clown. But but you never let me drown. Always lending me your hand, even if your arms are tied to kindness, you'd always extend it. For this, you will never blend or stand out like an asterisk. I must have madness, even lavishness that comes with me, but all I ask is this: I love you just the way you are, and don't you change a thing, 'cause nothing in this world compares to you. So darling, stay the same. Yeah. No need for you to switch your looks to match the magazines or books. I swear you like the dopest beat, the illest first impression. So I always keep you close to me, as close as my identity. The entity is staying into my brain like childhood memories. The energy is giving me encouragement when I'm away. There's nothing like returning home and see a smile upon your face. And everyday temptations visit, but it's not gonna never answer. They say nothing stays the same, so let's just continue getting better. Nothing in this world compares. Nothing in this world. Nothing in this world compares. Nothing in this world. Nothing in this world. Nothing in this world. Darling, stay the same, the same.
You're live with LE Radio Entourage.
Yes, you are live with LE Radio Entourage. And let me see, my blind self should have made this bigger. But anyway, our first interview tonight is going to be with Dr. Eternal Fortune. She is a motivational speaker, author, and transformation coach. Dr. Eternal Fortune holds a doctorate in psychology and is currently a certified addiction counselor. Addiction to what? With the state of Georgia and Illinois. She is certified DUI evaluator and HIV counselor in the state of Illinois. She has over 15 years in clinical health community. Okay, now, Dr. Eternal, I just learned something. You keep
been through a lot in life, and some cultures just are in a situation in life where they have to have everything positive, everything fortune creative to bring out their greatest self. So also one of my published works is I did a doctoral research on the LGBT community and how mentoring can increase self-esteem in the LGBT population. So that's one of the foundations of my work and why I seek out to help, LGBT populations and
sex addiction.
So people who use relationships as a means of addiction to just use their partners as a means to be to some people are addicted to their partners.
Do sex.
So it's sex and all the ways that prevent them from bringing out their highest and greatest potential. Prevent them from looking in their life. Prevents them from looking in their lives.
Yes, you sound really when you close to the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta make love to the mic. I got these mics specifically so they didn't pick up background noises and stuff. So it,
okay.
So it's kind of you sound good. So it's kind of catch 22 because then now I gotta have my people basically making love to the mic, but to keep out the background noise.
Okay.
So and then let's see what else. The other question, HIV counselor. How did that work? Like,
well, in the state of Illinois, that was the first certification that I had in the state of Illinois. I worked with HIV counseling and testing, primarily in the LGBT community. I was on the west side of Chicago, and what happened, it was a great initiative for people to learn their statuses and their results so that they could know their status and prevent the spread of HIV. And, we would do counseling and testing, Then it was the first counseling initiative, like I said, where you will have a counseling session, talk about, partner notification, talk about sex patterns, and you will be tested. And then you have another counseling session before your results come back. You have another counseling session before your results come back. So it was combined in the counseling with the testing. That type of way.
Should I turn my mic down? Was it hard, having conversations with people who were positive?
Oh, yes. It was very difficult. Each case was unique, and each case was different. But each case reminded me to be human, that people are human, and that like HIV with any terminal or any condition, you have to be able to bring your heart into it.
Right.
Because people, need to see human beings that care in that type of arena, in that type of setting. So yes, each case was different, and each case taught me how to be a better person and a better clinician in my work.
Alrighty then.
How was it when you had to tell someone that they were positive? I mean,
did you have to tell someone, or did everyone who came to you already know?
That's a great question too. It was different for each case. Each case takes clear preparation, and just giving someone that type of status result that can affect the rest of their life. Of course, it was very difficult, and it taught me to search within myself to be able to deliver that type of result. And I also realized how much of a great mission that we all have in society, to work with people on all levels. And but each case taught me something about life, because it turns out that every person in that situation, they helped develop me more than, I was there, of course, to help them. But I think, I got a lot of development for my life.
Okay.
And it helped me on a spiritual journey.
Last year, the Sister Love Foundation that did 20 in 20. It was 20 women, honoring 20 women who survived HIV for at least 20 years. And all of their stories were very interesting. We had a few millennials in there, and I was surprised at what they were saying, that the stigma of HIV is not the same. That they feel just you can take a pill, you can take that regimen of medication, and you'll be fine. Did you encounter any of that thought? And also the fact that older people in their 50s and 60s are now being diagnosed with HIV at a higher rate, too. Just want to get your thoughts on that.
That is very interesting that you say that, and that's a great. Thank you so much for really, studying the trends and the studies, up to date. Back when I was doing testing and counseling, it was kind of relatively new. It was roughly 10, 15 years ago when I was counseling, when I first started counseling, and I stayed in that counseling arena about 5 to 6 years, on that particular counseling community, in that specific counseling community. But back then, there was a lot of stigma associated with HIV. I can remember one of my patients, visiting one of my patients, and the last stages of his life, he talked, I hold his hand, a lot, but he talked about how somebody finally recognized him as a human being, because everybody else back then, they had you, in order to see a person, you have to be covered up and have on gloves and all this, just
because they didn't know anything about it.
They didn't,
They didn't really know.
They didn't really know. So
and but to see, I'm so proud of humanity, for having a heart to really study the trends and to study, to have studies of that magnitude that can impact the thought and the learning process of the disease and allow the human connection, to be supported. And, there's a lot of dialogue still around the topic. And it's a lot of advances in medicine. Shouts out to the medical community. It's a lot of advancement in medicine. It's a lot of advancement in the counselor arena. And it's a lot of advancement in us as human beings, the power of the human-to-human connection. So thank you for, mentioning that and studying the trends.
Yeah, Rolling Out Magazine did a whole series on HIV and the trends, especially since our demographic is our young millennials, urban millennials.
Yeah.
But do you think, okay, we have the HIV, and I'm gonna tell a joke after this, but they got a pill, like you were saying, where it's undetectable.
Truvada,
Yeah.
or any type of PrEP, which is the pre-exposure prophylaxis. You're talking about that.
Yeah. Isn't that unfair?
What do you
Because,
mean?
well, I'm saying someone who was tested HIV, and then all of a sudden they take this pill or whatever they take, and now you're undetectable. They seem to think that you do not have it. So they won't tell a partner, someone that they're going to sleep with, that they're HIV positive. They're just not saying anything. Because I know one, he doesn't say nothing because he's undetectable.
Well, they're breaking the law. And we were talking about
But can
deception.
people still can get that, right?
Well, there's always that chance. When with Truvada and with people taking the PrEP medication, it's supposed to reduce the viral load to an undetectable level. That's one of the drugs that Charlie Sheen, for example, is taking.
He got it?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Where you been?
Not watching TV?
Like,
people
where
who
you
saw
been?
Charlie Sheen's life and everything say it was a matter of time for him.
Yeah, it was a matter
I'm
of...
gonna Google this right.
Yeah, he got
Google
it. He
it.
talked about it was a matter of time. He talked about all the women he had been with and everything. He was just like out there. Yeah,
Yes.
he talked. Yeah. That was about what, 5-6 years? Been out 5-6 years.
2 years now.
About 2. I thought it was about 5. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
That's why that poor man was acting
Yeah.
crazy on the set.
Yeah.
Well, his drug is a habit too.
That too.
Yeah, so.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
but this ain't about Charlie
So
Sheen.
yeah, it ain't about Charlie Sheen. So while
Well,
we got
go
the good
ahead.
doctor over there, what do you have any? I know you was listening to the conversation we was having tonight about sexually transmitted demons. So you have.
You got a counseling session. Huh?
No, well, I got, my career now is based on to do or it can make us make choices that make it can be good or bad based on these connections. So big up to the topic, and big up to
acting like your mate.
Yeah,
and people be like, y'all act just alike. Yeah.
You can be influenced by
it could be
these
good
connections.
or bad.
Yeah, these because one question I often get on the show. Shout out to the Dr. Turner Fortune show.
Oh, she gonna use that show.
She just did. Did she just do a shameless plug?
She did. The show.
Nah, but you go and tell them about the show because we was gonna have to give out that information anyway.
The Dr. Turner Fortune show is YouTube, primarily on YouTube, and this the show where we do the most for people who don't do enough, and I say that to say,
I like that we do the most. For the people
sometimes we are the example of hope for people, especially the youth, in society. So we have to do the most with our life, and doing the most, like the youth may see it, or they use the term like, "Oh, she's doing the most" in a way that getting attention. But when I use that term, doing the most with our life, being the best bringing out everything that's within you, every positive aspect within your life, so that you can shine the greatest. You can shine. I just really suffered a lot, and would suffer with addictions, and it's just a lot of things that I had to break free of in order to be the greatest me.
I have to ask, I've met so many black folk who are Buddhists lately, and I have to. Are you familiar with the writings of Thich Nhat Hanh?
No.
Okay.
No, our teachers is based off the writings of Nichiren Daishonin.
Okay.
There's so many Buddhist sects, like in Christianity.
Well, his concept of suffering.
Okay.
That suffering is the cause of every pain. And it creates the hatred and everything else, and it breaking out of that cycle of suffering. is important, and it sounds like from what you were describing growing up that you had suffered. And how did you come to take your suffering and use it as a weapon to help you come through?
This is a great interview.
What, go ahead and
Hey, that's the rolling out man.
rolling out.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
That-
Thank
yeah.
you so much. That's a wonderful question. You know, and thank you for the opportunity to really expound on these questions. You know, my sufferings at first I used to view them as why me, you know, but now because of this philosophy, you know, the writings of Nietzsche and Daishonin, and I also study, you know, Daisaku Ikeda, you know, is my Buddhist mentor in life. So what he teaches is that, you know, we take on this suffering, you know, for the sake of self and also to help society as well. So being in a position, viewing my suffering as a part of life that I, you know, took on and can help other people, and now I have a purpose and a mission that helped me really transform my suffering into mission. Yeah, thank you so much.
So some people would take that as you're practicing Buddhism, but do you believe in God? How do you
define?
No, that's not the word I
Okay,
want to
okay.
use. But right now, can't remember it.
Okay.
But how do you separate the two? Because do you believe in God? Do you believe in there's a higher power? Because I started with the the Buddhist too, with you, but I also got confused.
I didn't get confused.
I know.
studied
Wait,
it.
this is my question.
Go on with your question, but I'm trying to understand your confusion.
Well, my confusion is because going to a couple of meetings, a lot of people, I took it as if they didn't believe in God. And growing up, that's what I know. I know you pray. I know you go to church. But then at some point, my faith in God lapsed too because of the things that I have been through. How do you separate the two? If that makes sense.
I think I understand what you're saying because I did both. I still believe in God, but the only reason why I haven't been really able to study is because they had their meetings on days when I'm at work. But for me, I still believe in God, but when I study Buddhism, that's more about the universe and the 12 laws of attraction and energy and praying to the universe. And it's not like people think they praying to some short little fat bald man but that's not the case. So that's how I took it, as more of universe and make a connection with people by spreading positive, because the universe only understands positive and negative. What you put out and what you get back. So that's how I took it, as just studying the laws of attraction through the universe, but I still believe in God.
Well, it scared me.
It shouldn't have, because we all believe in a higher power.
When I started practicing, I told my car up.
What?
Remember that?
How you tie your car up? It's supposed to bring positive.
That's what I told her.
But
I said, you know what?
Let me ask her a question, because would she ever had that accident whether she went to a meeting or not?
Yeah, if it was because it was something you had already put in the universe.
Not to crash my car.
And do non-Buddhists have car accidents?
I was on my way to work.
Let me ask you a question. Do non-Buddhists have car accidents?
I don't know. I ain't seen one.
But wait a minute.
I think more non-Buddhists have car accidents than Buddhists.
You're talking. There's a difference.
I don't
it's
know,
about.
but it's scared. But then something else happened to me.
It wasn't because you were
And I
studying
told her,
Buddhism.
I told her,
confusing
I say,
religion and
I'm not doing
spirituality.
it.
Yeah,
You're confusing.
that's what I was getting
Well,
at.
see,
What he just said.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe I am.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't
But see,
understand
because
it.
you can
That's what I was
also
trying to
you
say.
can also be Christian and have a connection to universal ideals.
Right.
I mean, there is a concept and an idea of a higher power that is all interconnected. We'll look at, for example, Christianity. I'm a Christian. I'm a preacher's kid. Okay, Dad's AME minister, elder. So I believe in the resurrection. Okay, so Buddhism. Okay. here's the thing about it. So a Christian may say to you, and people may say, well, that's terrible. I don't want to reincarnate and everything else. But a Christian may say to a person who's Buddhist, but Christ breaks the cycle of reincarnation. So you won't have to reincarnate again because your sins and things that have gone on that would have caused you to reincarnate are over anymore. You don't have to go through the path once you to make your choices in the afterlife, like Tibetan Buddhism, where you have to make the different choices. You don't have to go through the eightfold path, and you can. There are concepts of, like people have a misunderstanding of Masonry. Okay, Masonry looks at a spiritual universal collection of things. And it has its basis in Christianity and everything else. But it's a way you understand yourself and your placement and everything else with your higher power, with God, with Allah, and everything else. That's where it is. And car accidents, I mean, they happen. They happen to the best of us.
It scared me because I had just did it.
Or it could be karma. No,
yeah. But I was trying to explain what he was just saying. Religion and spirituality.
Well, yeah, that's true, but it scared me because I called her and I cussed her out from the. I cussed her out.
That's being superstitious.
Well, I didn't know. Yeah, she brought something that I wasn't familiar with. I did it in my car crash.
Christian-stitious.
Did I get my car fixed?
Yeah, you got your car fixed, and you got a better car after that. Then you got a better car after that. As a result, you got a better job after that.
Do you think that Jesus was punishing you for looking at Buddhism? Was that it? Do you think you're being punished for looking at another religion, and that's what caused your car accident?
It could have because I was confused about it.
You was confused. You wasn't thinking spirituality.
She didn't know much about it either, and I called myself following her.
All y'all started it off together at the same time.
She went, and then she came to me with it, and then she recruited all my kids, and they started doing it. I said, well, let me try it. Then my sister tried because I was living at home with my sister. And then my sister got into it, and it was like, I was the only one that had the doggone car accident.
There are many. Let me tell you something.
You should have got into it first, and then you wouldn't have had that.
So now she'll say, "Come on, go and come to this meeting." I'd be like, "I'm on my way."
Never show up.
But she always. Let me say this. She always promote and participate in the positive aspects of Buddhism. She always make sure the meetings. I go to the meeting. You better go to that meeting. Type way, and she always, make sure to promote the positive aspects.
Well, I can't remember the name of the very famous American Buddhist, and he wrote a short poem, and he said, and it's about Buddhism. Life is an illusion. Life is an illusion, and yet.
And yet what?
Right.
Well, there are some Buddhists. There is some Buddhist thought that life is. That life is like when they build the mandala, okay, the sand design and artwork and everything. It takes them weeks to do this, and it's beautiful and intricate, and then they finish it, and then they sweep it away with a broom to show you that life is temporal, it can change at any moment, and then they gather up the sand and they put it in a flowing source of water, okay. So, and people say that some people believe that the trappings of wealth. Like with Siddhartha, with Buddha, he was a prince, okay? He looked at life and everything around him and he felt unfulfilled. It was an illusion to him. He wanted something else, but when he wanted something else, he had to deal with suffering. He had, when he went on his journey and everything else. So, I think that it's always good to look at your spirituality to show, how you can grow. Because even with Christ, what happened, we remember his family fled into Egypt, right? So many people like Joseph Van Sertima and Dr. Yosef Ben Jochannan says that when Christ was in Egypt, he was introduced to the Egyptian mystery systems, the basis of monotheism. So we see that the basis of what we know is how we worship higher power and everything coming out of Egypt and everything is African in nature. So, there's just be spiritual, understand things, I don't know, taking the extreme of changing your religion and thinking that if you change your religion, you'll have a car accident.
That's when I first was introduced to it.
Gina.
That's just me,
That's Gina Boo, y'all. That's Gina Boo.
But it has changed her. I will say, since she has been doing it, I've seen a lot of growth in her because she was so like immature at one point. She
Are you
would get
really
on
just
my
gonna
nerves.
bust
You
out
just
on the
named her
radio?
on the radio.
You don't really just bust her out on the
Yeah.
radio?
What I'm saying is,
Is this a beep beep moment?
No.
Beep 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 beep.
My name
Right.
is Les. I'm not in this mess.
I'm gonna check. Now,
And I'm
but what
just
I'm
gonna sit over
saying
here and let
is,
them talk.
she has really grown.
Okay.
She's grown into a very positive person. I mean, she did have she has come through the struggle. I've seen it.
Okay.
And
Clean
she
it up.
No, you know what? I'm mad. I'm going home. But no,
Nah,
you
she is a
have-
beautiful person.
She
I love her
is. She
energy.
gives
I love
and
her.
she gives, and a lot of people have taken advantage of it. And I'm like, hey, they're taking advantage of you. You're gonna have to stop this because she sees the good
In
in
everything.
everything and everybody. I could be mad at my kids, and then she'll go, well, what the positive in this? And I'd be like, right now, I don't want to know no positive because I'm mad right
that
now.
sound like somebody
but
I
she
know.
has. She's a wonderful person. She's
Let's
a
find
wonderful
the
person and
positive
friend. She's
in
seen
this.
me go through a lot, and the first thing she'll say, "You need to chant about this." And I'll be like, "I don't want to hear about no chanting. I'm mad. Let me be mad, and then we'll start being silly." She brings that out. She'll make you forget that you were mad, and she brings you back to that positive. Because I'm not wrapped too
So
tight.
was your anger was an illusion then?
Yeah, your anger was
Yeah,
an illusion.
it was. I don't want to sit next to you no more.
Let me say this. Just let me put one plug out for
Yeah, go and put your plug out. You could tell the people where to follow you and everything. So we could get, no, I'm serious. She could get that. She could go on because we gonna go on to
I don't want
Millie.
the audience to live through the misconception of,
Right.
I want them to know about Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism. There's an Atlantic station. In Atlantic Station, you have the community center, the Buddhist Community Center, 421 17th Street. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. is intro meetings.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to repeat that because we couldn't hear nothing you were saying.
So, learn more about Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism. There's our Atlantic Buddhist Center is 421 17th Street. The Sokogakai is right across the street from IKEA. As a matter of fact, and every Wednesday at 7 they have intro meetings to learn more about it. It's just a wonderful way of life. It's a philosophy. It's a wonderful way of life. It just teaches you how to bring your highest and greatest potential, and just really harmonize with everything that's positive in the universe. And even if something is negative, we seek to transform it into a positive vibe, and you can still be who you are.
You gonna tell them where to follow you?
Yeah, you follow me. You can follow me on at Dr. Eternal Fortune Show. Blog Dr. Eternal Fortune Show. That's on YouTube. And you can hit me on Facebook at Dr. Eternal Fortune on Facebook. Also Instagram, Dr. Eternal Fortune.
All right now. So we're gonna take a quick break. That was Dr. Eternal Fortune. And we're going to take a quick break. And right after this break, we're going to have Southern Soul Art, Millie Coleman. Coming up, this is Meserachi. Remember I told y'all I was going to play her on every show because I love her. So this is Ooh La La by
I can't
Meserachi.
even see her lips moving. I'm sorry.
Coming up.
I can tell you what a girl wants. I can tell you what a girl needs. Just I can tell you what she might think. And I can tell you what she can't see. I can tell you what she might do. I can tell you what she sure won't. Depends on what you might do and what you don't. She might want all the attention, even if it's what you say, and if she's worth the mention. You won't look the other way, don't have to say you love her. Let her know you're thinking of her. And if it's nothing that she needs, give her all you got. Give her all you got. Make her say, ooh la la, ooh la la la. Make her say, ooh la la, ooh la la la.
please hella asking.
I just say it like I see it, cause it's something that I know. No girl when I'm traveling, no man with a 30.
Whoa.
Each story has two sides, so I'ma hit you up with both. I'ma hit you up with both. I'ma hit you up with both. She might want all the attention, even if it's what you say, and if she's worth the mention. You won't look the other way, don't have to say you love her. Let her know you're thinking of her. And if it's nothing that she needs, give her all you got. Give her all you got. Make her say, ooh la la, ooh la la la. Make her say, ooh la la, ooh la la la. And if it's nothing that she needs, give her all you got. Give her all you got. Make her say, ooh la la, ooh la la. Make her say, ooh la la, ooh la la. She might want all this attention, and if she's worth the attention. And if it's nothing that she needs, give her all you got. Oh, give her all you got. Make her say, ooh la la, ooh la la la. Make her sing it, ooh la la, ooh la la la. And if it's nothing that she needs, give her all you got. Oh, give her all you got. Make her say, ooh la la, ooh la la. Make her say, ooh la la, ooh la la.
You're live with LE Radio Entourage.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Go ahead. We're back. What is that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Gina. Okay, we're back, and now we're gonna have Millie Coleman.
I'm gonna have to read this. We have Millie Coleman. She's a self-taught artist, has been exploring her creativity since she was a young child. Coleman feels a strong connection to depicting the defining elements of human nature through her work. Coleman has honed her artistic skills and is an artist who specializes in painting, wood relief carving, and metal sculpting. She is a certified welder, a showcase, a variety of medium and combinations in her art. Coleman creates in a number of themes: abstract, mixed media, pattern culture, and the human body. Coleman also works in photography and graphic designs. Coleman was offered the opportunity to be a designated photographer and IT specialist for 2 studies abroad programs in Kenya, Africa, and Belize. Central America, an important fact of Coleman's work is her strong belief that her ideas and creativities are a gift from God. She believes that her work depicts a deep love of human nature and all of the complexities that mirror every human being in the variety facet of their life. Here's Millie. Hi, Millie.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, I'm good. Tell us a little bit more. I don't hear you.
As close as you could. Hello. Is that better? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to do better.
So how did you get into this art?
Initially, whenever I was in school, as far as when I was younger, the school that I was at wouldn't let me do wood shop. So, make a long story short, living on a farm, my father had power tools. So, between him and myself, I taught myself as far as how to use the power tools and make the wood stuff that I wanted to, and just kind of build on that as far as the art, as far as painting, drawing. And with the welding, I basically had a lot of metal ideas as far as art is concerned. And this, instead of learning how to, or teaching myself how to weld and blowing myself up, I decided to go get certified and be able to make a career out of it if I had to. So I have something to fall back on. But yeah, that's how I initially got started.
Tell us about your experience in Kenya and Africa and Belize.
Well, in Kenya and Belize, they were doing the study abroad programs. I had a chance, and basically, well, for the most part, it made me appreciate home better. It made me realize that as far as what I have here is, I'm more blessed to a certain extent, and I need to let more people know, or either help as many people as I can as far as getting to a better state from wherever they are now to wherever they want to be. Because in Kenya, I saw little kids that was sniffing glue.
You're not close enough to the mic. I can't even hear you.
Okay, my fault.
Yeah.
She gotta say all that again.
I just went to test it. No, you was just real low. I went upstairs to test it.
Okay. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where was I at? Oh, as far as in Kenya, as far as seeing kids that were, instead of trying to find food, they was trying to find glue, which was one of the manufacturing places that was in Nairobi, and they would sniff the glue to get hot instead of being able to try to find food or do anything as far as food is concerned. So they'll just sit there and sniff glue all day. But at the same time, while they were sniffing glue, you can see some kids that were drawing little sketches on the ground where they're really overly artistic, but they can't express themselves or either get their art out so they can make a living in their art. So with that made me realize that more people, as far as back home, can be able to do more as far as art is concerned, and hopefully be able to help more people as far as worldwide.
Explain the body art.
Well, actually with the body art, I just started doing that about a year and a half ago. Jessica asked me to do Jessica Halter with the Punani Poets asked me to do a portion in her show as far as painting the logo on a model, getting me out of my comfort zone, and I was like, okay, I can do it. Someone else to do it, and I wound up having to do it myself. So that's how I got started with it. But in the midst of, a couple weeks before that, I did a couple practice painting of some models. Shout out to the models back home in Middle Georgia for coming through, and did the body paint practice on them, and did a couple photo shoots with them so we can both kind of get the best out of the whole situation. So that's how I got started with the body painting.
How did you start off with Southern
Soul Arts?
Yes.
Southern Soul Arts is, I guess you can say, kind of a brainchild between me and one of my best friend. He passed a few years ago, Marvin Jackson. And we came up with the idea because we were doing art. It was a little, I guess, risque or a little different from what was going on in the area. We tried getting it into a couple galleries, and it was like, no, we don't want that in our gallery. So it was like, okay, we need to do something where everyone will be able to express themselves, or as far as display their art. So our philosophy is, if you draw stick figures and you want to show the world, we want to try to help you do that. So whatever it is that you do, we're trying to, as long as it's nothing as far as
degrading
or hatred, right? Exactly. Anything like that, we're willing to help you as far as get it out there, and as far as be part of the shows that we do. And also during the shows that we do, we try to promote people as far as the more, I guess say, music or entertaining people. Mm-hmm. So, and during our shows, we also say, if you juggle and you want to show the world, or you dance and sing, we want to do that during our shows. Our last show that we had in Macon, we had a live body painter, a live canvas artist, and then in the middle we had the stage performances where we had poetry, music, a variety of things. It's a variety show, so we tried kind of an artistic circus. So anything as far as that artistic wise, we try to show people, we try to get that out as far as throughout our show.
Do you do poetry?
No, I do not do poetry. I don't do anything on stage.
Why?
I'm not really, well, I'm not going to say I don't do anything on stage. I'm not really one to be in more as far as in the limelight. I'm more behind the scenes. I try to help other people who want to be in the limelight be in the limelight.
Okay. You have any shows coming up?
We are doing with the Punani Poets, the Secret of the Pearl show in Macon, February 16th, and then in Atlanta, February 17th. And there are a couple other shows that can be found on punanilove.com. And wanted to make sure I got it right. As far as the Punani Poet shows, and then we're also, a couple of the artists that are working with Southern Soul Arts will be performing or will be part of the Dark Eden show, which will be in Macon and during the month of March. And then in April, we're trying to do another variety show in Macon the first weekend in April.
What's patterns culture? Oh, never mind. I read it wrong.
Oh.
Never mind. I thought pattern and culture was together, but never mind.
Let me ask you a question. When did you first realize that you were an artist? Or you said, "Hey, I'm an artist and I can make money." What was the first thing you sold?
Honestly, whenever I'm real, I guess kind of a hands-on person. I used to make jewelry, like as far as beaded jewelry, bracelets, and things like that. I did that in high school and these little crochet things. So, actually junior high, I probably started doing that and then selling it to my friends. And it was like, oh, we like that. I was like, okay, cool. Couple bucks, that works for me. So I guess that's how I got started as far as selling my art. And then I kind of stepped back for a while once I got as far as college and just life in general. And whenever I met Marvin, that's whenever I got a little more as far as into art. As far as more trying to pursue it, as, not really as a career, but try to get my art as far as expressing myself more out there. And what we were painting and drawing, and as far as the carvings that we were doing, it was mostly a lot of naked people, just to be honest. And that's why a lot of the galleries and things we tried to go to or show, they was not having it. So that's when we made a decision as far as to start Southern Soul Arts. So, and then after he passed, I took somewhat of a break, and then a friend of mine basically talked me back into just getting back into basically convinced me that I needed to get back into my art because it was something that I love to do, and they saw that it was something that I love to do, and I needed to go ahead and pursue it. So, yeah.
Well, in sculpting, there's I think it goes back to Michelangelo when he looks at a hunk of marble and they talk about the negative stone, taking away the negative stone to bring out the piece of art that's in there. When you look at a piece of wood, do you see the art that's in there already, or does it just come? In your mind, or do you have to see the wood and then say no? Something else is guiding me to do this?
It really depends. If I have something that inspires me or something that pushes me, I'll go ahead and do it. But I'll just get a piece of wood and work on it. But sometimes at the same time, I can look at some wood and I'll just look at it and it's like, okay, this is what I see or this is what I want to see in it, and I try to make that happen. Sometimes it doesn't turn out the exact way that I wanted it to, but for the most part, it does.
Is there any black artist that inspires you?
I can't think of any offhand because, for the most part, I've never, as far as studying art, like I said, I'm pretty much self-taught. I've never really studied art because I do so much as far as with the welding, the IT, I'm into a lot of stuff. So I've never really studied any other artists other than maybe a couple techniques, but as far as names, no.
Do you plan to at least pursue it, to study it, to go further? Would that help your career to go further if you study it?
Yeah, actually I am looking into doing a little more as far as the study area go, as far as going into studying more into art. But like I said, what I'm doing now is more geared towards business and networking. As far as the artistic side of it, I'm still learning, and as far as working with other artists, I'm learning from the other artists as well. And that's what with Southern Soul Arts, we encourage other artists to work with each other. Because quite a few of the pieces that I have, I did some of those with Marvin or either some of the other artists that I've worked with previously.
If someone came to you and they heard about your what you do at Southern Soul Art, Southern Soul Art, and you look at their work and you know it's really not that good, would you give them a chance? Would you kind of like you can see the potential in the person, because like you say, art is through your eyes. Mm-hmm. It's what the artists see, right. But you kind of know, like, would you consider?
Like I said, if you draw stick figures and you are able to tell people about your stick figures, we'll let you do it. Because there's paintings out there where there are a couple lines, and that's the only thing it is, and they've sold for millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And people can't really explain it unless they talk to the artist or either the person that purchased it, and whatever they see, that's what it is.
That's true.
That's why, like with a lot of my art, I really don't name it, because I like people to see whatever it is that they see, whatever they want to see in the art that I create. Some of them I do name, but like I said, for the most part, it's just I know what I want to express, but at the same time, I want to know what other people see in it, and whatever someone else sees in it, it may not be exactly what I'm seeing, but as long as they enjoy the piece, that's all that matters.
I have a question. Do you have like a
wait? What's the question? Because can't nobody the people on the radio. We just finna have some dead air, so it's like you gonna have to come back here by a mic or something, because can't nobody. Yeah.
Or have you to ask the question.
She wants your mic.
Basically, my question is there a specific... You still can?
Nah, my mic here. Come right here, because I ain't by my mic. I can raise my mic up.
All right, so you were talking about techniques and different styles. Is there a particular technique that you always stick with, or do you have like a style on your own, or you just kind of make it up as you go?
I make it up as I go. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants.
Oh, that's a good
one. So I know you've entered one competition. Mm-hmm. I think that you did. Mm-hmm. Have you entered any more, or was this your first one?
This is kind of my first one. I'm trying to branch out and try as far as getting more exposure for myself and other artists. And I figure as far as with some of the things that I'm currently doing, I need to know what's going on with that before I'm able to show another artist what they're able to do as well. So that's why I've been as far as trying to get into different competitions and just learning more with different shows and getting more information with that. And as far as whenever you was asking me about studying or as far as art, I'm more studying, like I was saying, the business side of the art world now, because I want to help more people, other than myself, as far as get out there. And I figure, like, as far as with what I'm already doing, what I've done, as far as with the techniques that I'm using with my painting, my welding, the woodwork that I'm doing, I can still build on that more. But at the same time, I need to know the business side of the art world.
So you're like the last guest we have. You want to bring out the highest potential of people.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I want to help. Like,
chant.
It helps. I chant, I pray, whatever I got to do, I got to do. As long as I can help somebody, I'm helping them. So, like as far as just learning as much as possible to be able to get people to the next level, because I know there are a lot of artists that are out there.
It is.
And actually, personally, I know a lot of artists that are in jobs that they really can't stand and they don't enjoy them, but they can make some of the best things in the world. People will pay hundreds of dollars for them, and they don't even know that they will pay hundreds of dollars for them. but because they'll go to work, come home, do their art, and put it in the room in the corner, no one else sees it. So that's where we wanted to come in as far as with Southern Soul Arts, as far as giving them more exposure, showing the world what they can do, what the world, as far as different artists. Even though you may not be you can be a self-taught artist like myself, or either professional artist. We have some artists that have master degrees in art. And so, we have a variety of artists that are in Southern Soul Arts, and that's what we encourage as far as artists to be part of Southern Soul Arts, and then being able to work with other artists, or as far as sharing ideas and things like that.
Would you consider, you do the adult side of it. Mm-hmm. Would you ever thought about maybe because there's some kids out here that can draw.
Yeah, because have you seen, not to cut you off, have you seen Trayvon and Send Your Son? I'm going to show you his pictures. He's amazing. He's 18. She has him at art school, and he started off, like she was saying, he was drawing these little funny looking, they weren't really like stick figures, but they were, what you call the Power Rangers. All his stuff kind of looked like Power Rangers, but now, and I'm finna pull it up on my phone. When y'all look at it, he went from drawing these little stick figure Power Rangers to doing portraits. And when I say amazing, he's 18. He is freaking amazing. I was trying not to say the other word. Yeah, he's amazing. I'm gonna show it to you, but go on and she can answer your question.
Yeah, as far as with the younger people, we do try to work with different organizations, and we're also trying to put together some shows for the younger people. Not just adult shows. Like I said, we want to help as many people as possible. With the younger people, we want to do some workshops and just give them more information as far as the art world is concerned. Yeah. So they'll have that knowledge before, as far as a middle school student or a high school student. So because a lot of the stuff in art, I didn't learn until after I graduated from college. So, and that may be because in college I studied computers, but still at the same time, like I said, it's not something that I learned in high school or something that was really offered to me for the most part.
Okay. Well, is he like my son? Let me tell you. All his characters I was saying. But he's good. I see the potential in him, but I don't know how to push him.
Go.
I like that. Nasenja son did that?
And he started off drawing stick figures.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, he 18 now. But that's what he started off doing, stick figures, and that's what he at right now. Right. So that's like you said, look, that's potential.
Right,
and all his thing, it look.
Even though if it's the same thing, it looks the same thing over and over. Because
to me, it does.
Every single day. But you look at the first one that you saw a year ago compared to the one that you might have seen this year.
Well,
you see the improvement in it.
Yeah, he has improved, but I just wanted him to more so branch out.
He has to do that on his own.
Yeah,
he has to do that on his own time. You can't. I can't make to a certain extent. You can't really rush him.
I can't get a belt and tell him to change it.
Nah, that would discourage him.
I'm just joking.
Me because I can't draw this.
Just playing.
I don't want to pick up a pencil ever again.
I'm playing. I'm playing. I ain't gonna put him out, and I'm not gonna beat him. But I was just joking. But yeah, okay, let him just do him.
Right.
For now, he'll branch out on his own.
Right. If he decides to. But then again, he may decide to do something else.
Yeah.
He has that option.
Yeah.
He may not even want to do. He might not want to do anything in art. But right now, if that's what he's concentrating on, just encourage that.
Yeah, just let him be. Don't be messing with Kobe. Gonna get you.
He will.
Don't mess with him if you want to. Kobe gonna get them ankles.
He sure will. Put both of them out. No. Okay. Any questions? Right. Any more questions?
You answered them all.
Oh
yeah, you covered everything.
Well, you left me here.
Well, I had to go check on some stuff because I'm getting text messages and inboxes, so I needed to go upstairs and confirm some things right quick. Okay, Millie, you want to tell the people where to follow you at?
Yeah.
On Facebook is Mill MC or Southern Soul Arts, and Instagram and Twitter is Southern Soul Arts.
Okay. You all have heard it.
And thank you again for having me.
You're most welcome.
You're welcome.
And we're going to take one more quick break, and then we're going to come in and get ready to wrap up this conversation. We're going to touch a little bit back with Mo and Gina about these sexually transmitted demons right after this break.
Okay.
Right after this break. I guess right after this break.
Yeah.
I don't know why my music don't want to play, so I guess I'll take it.
It's always some technical
it's always.
difficulties.
I should have just stayed my little butt out there in that corner where I was. But after I came in here and laid down this carpet and the room was looking all cute, I was like trying to get up in here, but I should have just stayed my little butt right outside in that corner until after this show.
So, back to this. I'm connected to people.
Mm-hmm.
The good and the bad.
I guess so. As we go through life, we get the good and the bad ones. It's, that's why we have blues songs.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I really do believe that we are connected, and sometimes we're connected to where we can't move on to something that's more healthier for you. For whatever your reasons, you're still connected, and it keeps you from moving on and possibly finding something or someone that's a little bit more healthier for you, if that's what I'm gonna say.
Oh, that's how you're gonna close it out.
Yeah.
I agree totally. When I was ready to move on, things just changed dramatically for me.
We can't hear you.
When I decided to move on after my divorce and everything, things decided to move dramatically for me. When I decided to leave behind any baggage that wasn't my fault or anything like that, and things just got better. It's amazing.
Things will get better. Sometimes we see things and we're pushing, and sometimes we create our own. We create our own unhealthiness.
Yes,
because we're holding on to something or someone that we know that there may not be good for us for a variety of reasons, or whatever your reasons are.
Sex, financial.
I know for me it was hard because I was sex. Yeah, I can say that, but I found the strength to say, hey, enough is enough, because I love me and I know there's something better out there for me.
But then it depends, and that's just it. What are you looking for in a relationship with many people? And even if your prime motivation is sex, it's like we last year the magazine did a lot on, especially with the hard summer for R&B artists in this city, with Bobby Valentino, R. Kelly, then Usher with Herpes Gate.
With the herpes case.
So we started looking at choices people were making in Atlanta, whether it's going with transgender escorts or even going into a fetish lifestyle, BDSM lifestyle. The number of swingers clubs that have opened in the city. And even the bulletin board's websites geared to swinging couples and people who are ready to have relationships week after week, as many nights as they can, when they can walk into a place. One person I was talking with, she had said that she went in with her boyfriend and thought everything was cool and everything else until she grabbed another guy's penis and started to give him a blowjob, and then and the boyfriend got upset and left. But that's what she wanted. That's what she was going in to do. And she had there was no baggage with her, or was she living out her demons? Was that,
Wow.
So it's interesting. At least in Atlanta, it seems to be.
I mean, Atlanta has really...
It's anything goes.
It is. It's like a little miniature Vegas without the casinos.
Atlanta has always been like that.
Well, yeah, true.
And
True.
a good example of this, if you go, the movie that came out, I think 76, I'm sorry, 1976. I think it was one of my favorite movies, Uptown Saturday Night.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier. That was filmed here in Atlanta.
Was it?
Yes.
I never knew
Yes.
that. I never knew that.
And the premise of the party where they were robbed at Madame Zenobia's, that was based on an event when Ali came, when Muhammad Ali fought here in Atlanta. There was a robbery at an after-hours club. And there was mob connected at a house up all the way up. I think it's off of Simpson Road somewhere at the time. So it was one of those places where blacks, elite blacks, politicians and everything would go and gamble and drink and have their little bit of fun, and they all got robbed. And Muhammad Ali was supposed to go in there that day and make an appearance too. So at the end of it, you can look it up, the Atlanta robbery, Muhammad Ali fight, Atlanta robbery. Just Google those words and it'll pull up the whole thing.
Wow.
All the people involved in that were all found executed. They were rubbed out by the mob. And everything. So,
wow.
Yeah, but Atlanta's always had those issues.
So why do you think there is a rise of swingers? It used to be that was you had people that did it, and then, but now it's like, to me, I meet more and more people that are into swinging. Is it like there's something missing at home, even though they know if you sleep with this person, your energy is connected, but they choose, and they know that HIV is out here. They know that herpes is out here, because if a person has an outbreak, what?
Well, I can only speak.
It's on the rise.
Yeah, I can only speak in generalizations. And why is this happening? I think for me, looking at things is people have forgotten what a healthy relationship looks like.
Okay, yeah.
People
True.
have forgotten.
I agree. I so agree.
Forget to love one another first. And I'm going to say it with the exception of a few. We've forgotten, on the radio these days, we don't make beautiful songs anymore.
No, we
love,
don't. We don't.
I'm about to bring that back, so y'all get ready to tune in. I'm going to be playing some old school love.
I want to hear some stylistics, some shy lights.
I'm getting ready to put together a show like that, music to your ears.
Yes,
Yeah.
I honestly agree that people, for one, we don't know what we want. We don't even know what
the
we want.
The world is
in
sexually free. It's sexually fluent like now. It's
Yes.
really people just doing whatever.
Well, and the thing about it, it's because of media and everything now. Kids today, millennials, are living what a friend of mine called the pornographic pursuit of the now. Instant gratification. I want it now. I don't want to work I want my money now when I'm 19. I'm going to get it any way possible. Look at what's his name? Kodak Black. Just got arrested for the second time this year.
Yeah.
Supposed to be on house arrest, but police get him. He's facing serious charges. He's got weed charges. He's was with a little kid when he had the weed. He was on probation, had a gun and everything else. And I was like, why? You have the money and everything else. Why are you making these negative, bad choices and everything else? But it seems to be reflective of a lot of that age group.
Yeah, that age group, yes.
When they're in there and everything. So when it comes to people, but the people swinging now are older though too.
They are.
Some are.
They are.
Some are, but there's a lot of young ones out there too, who just, their bodies are fit and they don't have the same hang-ups because the church is no longer in our community anymore.
Nope.
So we don't have a moral base to go for things or look at where we're going. Now it's, whatever makes you feel good.
Because the preacher is swinging.
Yes.
He's swinging
now.
Yes. Yeah.
And the mothers of the church
the
maybe
mothers
too.
of the church,
we talk about the undercover, the down low brothers and everything else.
Exactly.
You don't talk about the down low sisters. Yeah. That's the one thing that is taboo.
Yeah, don't talk about them.
It's the down low sisters, and it's a lot of them that goes to those swingers too. It's a lot of those down low sisters that goes to those swinging clubs. It's just, to me, it's just like it's like second nature. It's like I swing now, and it's like it's okay, and it's unhealthy. I think it's unhealthy because you don't know what you're getting.
Or some people could say it's totally healthy for them, that they don't have any hang-ups anymore. That they don't want to, they don't follow your religious moral background or what have you. They want to live their life without feeling judged. Maybe that's the only way they feel free.
Maybe. Okay, I can go with that. You go with that?
Yeah, I can go.
What did you over there doing?
I'm getting hungry.
She's getting hungry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a big debate. It's not a debate, but it's you know, these ties. People don't realize the ties that you have to other people. I remember seeing a movie, and in the movie it was like it was like a demon. Long story short, at the end of the movie, they killed the demon, and all the souls were being released.
That's very common in a lot of movies.
I know that, but how do you tie that into what you said? When we have ties or we pass on, you think those that we had ties to are released from you?
I don't know, because we look at Solomon, who had 200 wives. He didn't have an issue, I don't think, with all, the energy or what have you. Otherwise, he would have stopped at wife number 10, maybe. Why deal with 190 other issues?
Well, I believe that.
Yeah. What Jay-Z say? I got 99 problems, but
ain't one of them. Well, okay. Well, I enjoyed you on the show today.
Thank you for inviting me out here.
You're most welcome.
To your secret headquarters.
Yeah, my secret headquarters. You gonna tell them where to follow you at, Mom?
Oh, yes. You can follow me on rollingout.com. And also, if you look around, whether it's Atlanta or LA, you'll probably find a copy of Rolling Out magazine, the print edition. You can also follow me on Facebook at Mo Barnes with Rolling Out, and also go to the Rolling Out page on Facebook, too.
On Facebook.
And at Twitter, I'm the Blog Rebel on Twitter.
You're not on IG?
Huh?
You're not on IG?
I can't remember an Instagram thing.
I knew
weird.
I saw you on
I'm
there.
there.
And I can't find you because
Yeah.
I know Jessica was asking me, and I said he on here. I just can't find him again. I don't remember what your name was. Gina Boo.
Yeah. What?
You got anything to say in closing?
No, I'm done with closing. I enjoyed our guest speaker, and those that we interviewed, and it was a very good show.
Brittany.
I just want to thank everybody that came. It was an awesome topic. Thank you, Dr. Eternal. Thank you, Millie. Thank you, sir, because you were definitely awesome. It was good to get another perspective. And I learned some stuff as being the only millennial here. I learned a lot just from listening, because back to what you were saying about the release, you spiritually, because I'm more of a spiritual individual, there is a way to release those sexually transmitted demons.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother subject.
But that's it. Everybody, thank you for listening to Show Less Elegance Radio. Please
LE Radio.
Oh, yeah, sorry. LE Radio. We've changed the name. Please do not forget to go to Eventbrite to get these tickets for Jessica Holter's shows. You do not want to miss out.
Yep, you don't want to miss those shows. But thanks again for tuning in. I have a list of other shows coming up. Bar Stews and Cocktails. Gonna be some sexy. I can't get it out. Tongue tied. Sexy. Erotic short stories. I already got them. I just got to put them out there.
Lord,
you ain't got to do nothing for that. It's gonna be on Fridays. It's MG. What's her name? Red. I can't think of the lady name right now. Lord, forgive me. But I already got it. I just got to put it out there. They pre-recorded.
Okay.
It's like audio books.
Okay.
It's an audio book. But it's going to be on there. Then we're going to have the house music night, old school music night, and stuff like that. But y'all can touch bases here with us on Free the Show every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're turning in a little early tonight.
We'll play some music. Is the music working?
Yeah, the music working now. I think.
And I'm in the fuck. If you into being loved, I ain't with it, no way. Nah, girls, they always got me vexed. I'm into making love. They put me to the test. We can do it your way. And I'm in the fuck. If you into being loved, I ain't with it, no way.
Hello, you look nice. Yeah. You make me look twice. Whoa, before I cross that road, make sure that I'm looking left and right. Well, that's because my past travel kid when I book my flight. But look, I might have that bag, get shit back overnight. Life ain't even in my hand. You know when you can end up drop dead. Let's save time. No, let's kill it, get arrested. Airplane mode for the cell phone, ho. Please don't check your text. And if you let me charge your brain, then you might get the message.
You chase back to the boat. What you get This what you need when you don't know what you want.
What you want now?
Yeah.
What you want now?
Now don't go looking up for the God. Oh.
Nah.
Might be surprised what you find when you don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm into pretty girls, they always got me vexed. I'm into making love, they put me to the test. We can do it your way, and I'm into foreplay. If you into being loved, I ain't with it, no way. No girls, they always got me vexed. I'm into making love, they put me to the test. We can do it your way, and I'm into foreplay. If you into being loved, I ain't with it, no way.
I never know why we talk, should've thought that first. Ain't shit changed, sweating in bed. Ain't shit changed, spitting my bread, getting my hair straight. Yup, how do you get in my hair sweet? Look like you in a cinema scene, I'm shook by the woman I see. On cinema sweet you'll be, sync to the rhythm of the beat. You'll see how the word came rhythmically. I roll with the image of me, go locks with one and a bunk ass beat. Fuck anything with a dance party, but this time for the opposite reason. You'll be the woman I see, you'll be the reason I flee. Peace.
This radio podcast is brought to you by HIP INC, an educational-based nonprofit arts collective where creative minds come together, share, and create art. You can become a member, donate, and sponsor by going to www.hipinc.org. Like them on Facebook at The Hip Team and on IG at HIP_INC.